Dillian Show.
I'm Jared Dillian. This is the Jared Dillian Show. If you want to call to talk about your money, please call 844-305-7800. That's 844-305-7800. This is the Jared Dillian Show. What is this show all about? What is the Jared Dillian Show all about? It's about how to get more money. I mean, come on. Of course that's what it's about. You put a mic in front of me and I could talk for days or weeks about how to get more money. And it's basically all I spend my time thinking about. It's really all I think about. And it's a bit of an obsession, but it's good for you because you don't think about money all the time. You probably spend your time thinking about other stuff, so let me think about it, and then I'll give you the good ideas. And maybe you're like, what is the point of this? Like, what is the point of this struggle for money? We're going to get really philosophical here. We're going to talk about this. Like, we spend our time here on this earth. And, I spend my time here on this earth, and I spend most of it trying to think about how to get more money. Is that a way that you want to spend your life? And for me, it absolutely is. It is a noble pursuit. I don't see anything wrong with it at all. But what is the point of this struggle for money? Let me tell you something. Money makes things easier. A lot of people's lives their financial lives are very hard. And people fall behind. And it's very hard. I mean, people run into problems with their credit. They occasionally go bankrupt. Their investments do poorly. And it's a constant source of frustration. And wouldn't it be nice if that aspect of your life was going well and it freed you up to think about other things? Okay. I mean, this is my job. But wouldn't it be nice to be comfortable and not have to stress about money and not have to think about money and just spend your time thinking about the important stuff? Okay. There are some things you can do to get money in the short term, and there's some things you can do to get more money in the long term. But the whole point of this is to make your life easier. And I say this a bunch of times. The goal here is to not become a millionaire. That's not the goal. The goal here is to live a stress-free financial life. And if you can live a stress-free financial life, then that's all I really care about. Mission accomplished. And I'm going to guess that a lot of people are not leading a stress-free financial life. There's a lot of worries. The whole point of this is to make your life easier. Last week, I told an anecdote about how when I go in the grocery store, I don't look at the prices anymore. And I'm not saying that because I'm a rich jerk. This is an important point. When I go in the grocery store, I'm not looking at whether a can of beans is 79 cents or 99 cents. I just buy whatever can of beans I like, and I don't have to worry about the 20 cents. That is where you want to be. I'm not saying they should have a $15 million house in Miami. What I'm saying is you want to get to a point where you don't care about the small stuff. You don't care about the small stuff, and everything is small stuff. Now, when I first started out, when I graduated from college, when we went to the grocery store, we looked at the prices. We bought coffee. We bought generic coffee, and it was significantly cheaper than the store brand stuff. And that's what we did. We went to the grocery store. We looked at prices. We clipped coupons. We always had coupons, and you save 49 cents there, 99 cents there. It adds up. You save $8. It's a big deal. And I want to get to the point, I want you to get to the point where you don't worry about the small stuff. Okay. But yes, it is a constant struggle. It is a constant struggle. And every day I go into work, it is a struggle. It is a struggle to sell more newsletters. It's a struggle to make more money in the market. Every day I'm in a fight. It's like I'm in battle. And I enjoy the fight, but some people don't enjoy the fight. Some people don't enjoy the struggle. There was a guy named Scott Peck. Scott Peck wrote a book called The Road Less Traveled. This was back in the 80s. Scott Peck was a psychologist. It's a fascinating book. It's still a really good book. It's definitely worth picking up. And the first sentence in that book was, "Life is difficult." That was it. Life is difficult. And the rest of the book was talking about how people get into psychological trouble when they refuse to accept that life is difficult. If you don't, if you want to do this, it's a lot of hard work, and there's no easy answers. There's no easy answers. And my competitors will tell you that there are easy answers. 10 easy steps to financial freedom. It's not easy. None of this is easy. It's really hard. There's some tips and tricks. We talk about some hacks all the time, like, raising the credit limit on your credit card and stuff like that. But it's mostly just hard work. That's really what it is. And accepting that this is difficult and it's going to be difficult, and you have to work really, really hard. So, one of the things I do differently from other people is I talk about the revenue side. I talk about how, most other personal finance experts focus excessively on expenses. And I focus on expenses too. We just talked earlier in the show about how you can live on $67 a day. But I also focus on revenues, literally how to get more money. And there's ways to get more money. You can work harder, you can work longer, you can work 2 jobs, or you can work smarter. Or you can get another job, you can ask for a raise, or you can change careers altogether. And this is so hard for people to do. It's so hard for people to do. A lot of people think their purpose on this earth is to do X. Okay, but the reality is that you can reinvent yourself, and you can do anything in the world. You can do absolutely anything. I didn't know that I could write a book. I wrote a book. I didn't know that I could be a DJ. I became a DJ. I'm not constrained by anything. I'm not constrained by anything. Changing careers, you have to blow up your identity. There's people out there, in higher education, there's professors out there who are getting a pay cut, or they're getting laid off. And that's, the job market in higher education is horrifically bad. So then you have to ask yourself, what am I going to do? My dream was to become a college professor, and I can no longer become a college professor, what can I do? And how can I be happy? And you can't do these sorts of things if your identity is totally tied up in what your occupation is. You can literally do anything in the world. So you're going to have to do something else. You're going to have to blow up your identity and start over. You're going to have to give up your dream and get another dream. I've done this twice in my life. When I joined the Coast Guard, my dream was to become an admiral, right? My dream was to become an admiral. You have those gold shoulder boards, get 1 star, 2 star. And early on, I had to give up my dream. For a bunch of reasons. One, I said, I'm not going to function well in this organization. It's going to be really, really hard. And also, I have a spouse whose career is not going to enable her to move around all over the country. So I had to give up that dream. And then my dream was to work on Wall Street. Then I had to give up that dream because I said, this job is too psychologically hard. I can't do this another day. And I gave up my dream of working on Wall Street. So I've done it twice in my life. I've reinvented myself a bunch of times. Sometimes I think what might happen if this radio gig doesn't work out. What will I do? As a failed radio host. And I'm like, yeah, it's not a big deal. I'll figure something out. But life is always a struggle. And sometimes things don't work out the way they're supposed to. But there's no reason to cry over it. You just got to get back in there. And then people say, wouldn't it be nice if we didn't have to work? We could just get a check, just stay home. That would not be nice. That would be awful. That would be hell. It would literally take all the meaning out of life, because the meaning of life comes from struggle. Struggle for life, struggle for money, struggle for happiness. It is the struggle that gives all these things meaning. Life is difficult. Life is supposed to be hard. You win at life when you are happy. So what makes you happy? Now, I can help with the money part. When I say you should pay off your mortgage in 10 years, I say it because it will result in more money. But I also say it because it will make you happy. Okay? And the peace of mind that comes with living in a house that you own free and clear. I mean, yes, you could take that money and invest it, and you can play the interest rate game and all that stuff, but it's really about what will make you happy. I have listeners who have taken my advice and paid off their mortgage, and they are happier. I have listeners who have eliminated their credit card debt. Guess what? They are happier. I have listeners who started maxing out their 401ks. They are also happier. I am not in the money business. I'm in the happy business. Financial security also makes people happy. I'm Jared Dillian. This is The Jared Dillian Show.
The Jared Dillian Show.